Cameron Diaz was flying high when she started out in movies, but the second half of her career has been lackluster to say the least. There's a good many reasons why Hollywood's rejected her. Getting older. Cameron hit the big time with 1994's The Mask with Jim Carrey. She was in her early 20s and spent the rest of the 90s and 2000s making great movies. Perhaps she was being offered the pick of the crop as a young and upcoming star. But as she aged, Hollywood didn't know what to do with her. Cameron herself has claimed that Hollywood's attitude towards aging is older is ugly or less valuable. She's not bothered though, as she told the Daily Mail, "My youth has gone, I'm not young anymore, and I am perfectly okay with that. Good for you, Cam." Going R-rated. Many believe Cameron's career really suffered when she started starring in R-rated comedies, like 2011's Bad Teacher. It seemed like a strange move and beneath an actress who was previously starring in interesting indie movies or big films with widespread appeal. When Cameron then went on to star in Sex Tape in 2014, it really signaled a low point in her career. The movie earned her the kinds of awards no actor wants, like Razzies. Not returning to indie movies. After breaking into the mainstream with her debut movie, Cameron starred in a run of indie films. It was almost like she was using her newfound fame as a springboard to take on more interesting projects. Although she still did some studio movies, she embraced quirkier films throughout the 90s, like Being John Malkovich, She's the One, and The Last Supper. But she never really returned to those kinds of movies in a successful way. Perhaps that's what she needs to do to regain some respect from the critics. She peaked too soon. Cameron's career took off pretty much straight away. The highlights of her filmography include her very first movie, The Mask, 1997's My Best Friend's Wedding, and 1998's There's Something About Mary. In terms of Rotten Tomatoes scores, Cameron's biggest success is 1999's Being John Malkovich. The first two Shrek movies in 2001 and 2004 both score highly too. But beyond that, the movies she chose didn't get rated anywhere near so well. Was it a case of peaking too soon? A run of bad movies. It's difficult to maintain a high level of critical acclaim and box office success throughout your career. And every actor has blips on their resume. But for Cameron, it's been a long time since she made a well-received movie. In fact, all of Cameron's movies from 2008 score poorly on Rotten Tomatoes. Sex Tape and Gambit were both rated at just 17%. What Happens in Vegas, What to Expect When You're Expecting, Annie, and The Other Woman all scored below 30%. Not great at all. The Curse of the Razzies. When Cameron's career was flying high in the 90s and 2000s, she wasn't on the Golden Raspberry Awards radar. Charlie's Angels Full Throttle and What Happens in Vegas earned her nominations in 2004 and 2009, but it wasn't until 2015 that the Razzies really let it rip at Cameron. She won Worst Actress for The Other Woman and Sex Tape. She was also nominated for Worst Supporting Actress for Annie and Worst Screen Combo with Jason Segel for Sex Tape. Ouch. Those questionable remakes. Starring in a remake of a popular movie is always risky. Cameron did well with the Charlie's Angels remakes, which were all successes. But The Green Hornet in 2011 didn't go so well. Critics mainly gave the superhero action movie mixed or negative reviews. And then 2012's remake of Gambit got even worse reviews from the critics. It performed poorly at the box office too, only grossing $10 million. The 2014 remake of Annie didn't do Cameron any favors either. In need of a new agent. Some believe an actor's agent should take the bulk of the blame when the star's career takes a nosedive. And the Alliance of Women Film Journalists told Cameron in no uncertain terms that she should be looking around. In 2013, Cameron won the Actress Most in Need of a New Agent award for The Counselor. That film also won the Movie You Wanted to Love But Just Couldn't award. And to really ram home the point, they gave Cameron the same agent award the following year for Sex Tape. Seriously, that's a pretty big hint that something is not right. in need of a top director. When Cameron's career was going well, she was working with the best directors, and that is no coincidence. There was the Farley brothers for There's Something About Mary, Danny Boyle for A Life Less Ordinary, and Terry Gilliam for Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. And let's not forget Martin Scorsese for Gangs of New York, Oliver Stone for Any Given Sunday, and Spike Jonze for Being John Malkovich. But the top directors generally haven't been seeking her out in recent years. She needs a big hit with a big director at the helm to pull her career back. She didn't diversify. Cameron has stayed pretty firmly in the movie world, but as an agent told Vulture, there aren't so many movies being made these days, so it's unwise to let everything ride on one movie. Many of Cameron's contemporaries have diversified into TV. Given the right role, this can really make top film directors sit up and take notice. Many of her fellow actors have also set up their own production companies too. Cameron's move into TV as producer on the Bad Teacher series isn't exactly what we had in mind. Why do you think Hollywood rejected Cameron Diaz? Let us know in comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to The Taco.